And this guy is 19 years old, hasn't had a girlfriend, is down on his luck, but he's hoping that he's getting married between the ages of 21 and 25. Yes, he's already mapped out that he wants to get married by that time. Is it possible? It is. Should he be trying to reach for that? Well, we'll see. So it goes, I think I've got a serious problem, but I don't know why. Basically, every time I approach girls, it's either I'm seen as the friend or they entertain me. I enter a talking stage sometimes with flirting involved, but I always end up either in the friend zone or I find out that the girl has a boyfriend and is just being nice and replying to my messages. I've never had a girlfriend before and it's starting to tick me off. Hey, preaching to the choir, guy. I didn't have a girlfriend. I had my first girlfriend at 15 for 2 weeks, and I didn't have a girlfriend that I called my girlfriend again until 29. So anyway, he says, it's starting to take me off. It's either I'm the friend zone type guy, give off friend vibes, not interested, or the girl has a boyfriend and sometimes still wants to be friends with me. This year alone, it's happened at least 5 times to me. I hope to get married between 21 and 25, but so far, it's not looking good at all. Can I get some help? Can I get someone to help me out and tell me what's wrong or what I'm doing wrong? Well, let's start off with the marriage thing, right? Here's the reality. As a guy right now, you're thinking, between 21 and 25, I want to get married. And here's the reality. When you graduate college, you'll be 22, 23. You will not be ready enough to actually take on what you need to take on in a marriage. Because if you don't have a well-paying job, you don't have an apartment, you don't have a car, you're not yet set up to take care of yourself, then you definitely cannot take care of you and another person. And it is irresponsible to do so. Most men don't really hit their peak in terms of them being able to actually get all that stuff situated until their early 30s, all right? Now that's not to say there aren't some outliers because, hey, I had a brother that got married at 25, 26, but he would tell you too that his first couple years of marriage, he and his wife were roommating with another couple friend that they had, and they had a house they collectively had together where rent was very, very low because it was 4 people in the house. So don't think that you're going to have everything together, ready to go, and that you're going to be actually equipped for marriage. But more to the point is that at the point that you reach your 30s, that's when the world becomes your oyster. You have enough to where you've had a few years in the job market, you're relatively stable, but more importantly, you now have a wide variety of women you can date. At 19 to 25, realistically, you're probably looking at dating girls that are maybe close to your age, but the majority of women that are in their early 20s are trying to date guys that are in their late 20s, early 30s, sometimes 40s. So you're still gonna miss out and the selection of women you're gonna have is very low. Doesn't mean it can't happen, not at all. But I'm saying the probability is very low. Once you get into your 30s, you're 35, you're 40, now you can go for women, especially I'm 41. At my age, I can reach all the way back down to 21 and go as high as 45, 46 if pressed, I have a friend of mine from college that is married, married a woman that was 10 years older than him. So all I was say is that your options actually get bigger as you get more established, as you have more stuff stabilized, and as you get older and look more mature by default. Because women typically want men that are more mature. Women on average are trying to date guys that they feel are better than them. And so if you're more stable and you're older, it makes you look more mature, which for a woman that is younger is gonna actually look a lot more attractive than at 25 when you don't have that stuff figured out. And women are gonna date based on if they can date a guy that's gonna make them feel safe and they can be protected and taken care of. You at 25, it's not that you can't do that, but you're definitely not gonna be beating a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old with that, you know what I'm saying? But back to some of the other stuff here. So he says that when he approaches girls, he's seen as the friend guy or the entertainer. So here's the reality, guy, because I was a virgin until I was 23. If you have not hooked up with the girl yet, then you probably do not have any kind of sexuality that is oozing from you that would let women know that you're a guy that's open for hooking up. And as much as we think that, women want to, they don't like guys that are all about sex and they want guys that are virgins, the reality is most women have started hooking up as early as 13, 14, or 15. And so what that means is that you're coming to the game already at a disadvantage because you're giving off a vibe that indicates that you're not even trying to go that route. And that's partially because you don't know how to tap into that as a guy that hasn't had any yet. Now, you don't have to lose your virginity in order to tap into that essence, but a lot of guys, unbeknownst to them, feel threatened by the idea that they could be trying to present a sexual version of themselves to women because they're thinking, again, women don't want guys that are all about that, so they end up doing the complete opposite, which is hiding that or not displaying that kind of interest at all, and that leads you to having women out there that are like, oh, he doesn't give off that vibe, he doesn't know what he's doing with women. I don't want to date him. And that's the zone you land in. So the first thing is to try to really tap into the things about you that are flirty, that are playful, that women can see, oh, this could possibly lead down a path towards whatever, all right? The second thing is this, is that you are seemingly going into the friend zone because you're putting your own self there, and then you're trying to back out and make it into a relationship. And I used to be the same exact way. I would think, okay, I'll be friends with them first. They'll be able to see that we gel on a friendship level, and that's gonna make them wanna get with me because they'll realize that we have so much in common that they can't help themselves. That's not how this works. How this works is that when you first meet a woman, if you have any idea at all that you might be attracted to her and that you might wanna date her, you start doing the moves then that are gonna lead it towards that, which is like, being playful, being flirty, asking for the number, and then not wasting your time just trying to text a girl, but actually using the phone to ask her out. Where a lot of guys get stuck is they get themselves in friend zone by getting her information and then just texting her a bunch of nonsense, sending her a bunch of memes, sending her a bunch of, hey, how you doing? How are you? Nice to see you. Oh my God. And they're not just, putting their pedal to the metal and asking for the date. Women want you to ask them out on dates. If you're a guy that's in college like this guy is 19, then fine. Ask to meet up at the cafeteria for a meetup. Ask to walk off campus to a nearby coffee shop or whatever. But the point is that you are not doing the moves that are letting women, that you're not signaling to women by way of your moves that you're trying to move this in a direction early on that could potentially lead to you being in a relationship. You're meeting women, trying to be their friend first, then trying to get out of it. But by that point, women have you in their mind as you're the friend guy. So even if they're flirting with you, it's like, but at the end of the day, he's the friend guy. I can flirt with my friend guy because he knows it's not gonna be anything serious. And how women see it is this, once they put you in the friend zone, they assume that because they put you in the friend zone, you've also put them in the friend zone and don't wanna actually do anything. So when they're being flirty with you, they're thinking, I can be flirty with this guy because it's good for the attention, but I know that he knows it's just being playful and that we're not actually serious. And you're like, but I'm super serious and I'm trying to flirt. But you let it in the direction of being a friendship so she doesn't think it in that realm, So you gotta do better with your front game, which you're meeting women, off jump, you start flirting, you start making them laugh, being vibrant, you say, hey, let me get your number, and then you ask them out on a date. I have a whole program called Introvert Dating Success Academy that walks you through the ins and outs of how this is supposed to work from when you meet them all the way to when you actually get them on a date, to when the hookups happen, to when you get into a relationship, all right? It's a very easy process to follow, and it works for like every woman. Like all the women that I've done this process on, it's front to back, works and gets me into a relationship. But again, this was a result of me having years of a lack of success and not knowing where I was going wrong. And it started with, when I met them, I was giving off friend vibes. You're giving off friend vibes, you're gonna get friend zoned each and every time. That's just kind of how it works. Lastly, guy, like I said, don't be so much in a rush to get married. Like I've had friends of mine that got married at 25 and it worked out, and I've had a lot more that I've seen get married that early and it doesn't work out. But more importantly, you as the guy should never be chasing relationships. What you're chasing is women that are gonna be fun to have a good time with, whether it's you guys are going out on dates, you guys are hooking up, you guys are having deep conversations. All your job is to find a woman that you can have a great time with in whatever capacity that means. It is the woman's job to come to you and say, hey, based on the good time we're having, I wanna have a relationship. So you shouldn't even be thinking about, I gotta focus on women I'm gonna marry. You can focus on putting yourself out there. You can focus on making women feel the best that they possibly can feel when they're around you. Those are the things that you can control. But she's gonna control her coming to you to wanna get into a relationship. At that point, you're now in control of if you want that to happen, but you trying to put the cart before the horse and saying, I'm gonna go out there and seek a relationship. Now, all your energy is gonna be on, I gotta get a girl into a relationship instead of just having a good time. If you just focus on having a good time with the women that you're dating, they'll be the ones to bring up to you when they're ready for a relationship. I'm saying this as a person that has done this. It has worked time and time again for me to get into relationships by just showing up, showing them a great time, having some good hookups, having some fun dates. And if I do that consistently enough for 2 to 3 months, they come to me, hey, so are you seeing anybody else? So what are we? It really can be that simple. So don't do too much. I think guys are in the habit of trying to overdo because we're doers. We think we gotta do so much in order to get the results that we want. And I'm telling you, guy, if you're a bit more patient and more specific in the moves that you're making in the dating game, then you're gonna come out on top a lot easier. And I would love to help you with that. Go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, sign up for coaching, sign up for a program. But I got things there that'll start getting your mind to modify itself to understand better how this whole thing is supposed to work in the first place. So hopefully, guy, that helps you out.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high